All right. All right. So what do we do now? Oh, okay. I am Makanyi Suleiman Ashamuna, the 15th Speaker of Parliament for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I am a native of OT region and then the Karachi East. I study geography and rural development in this our noble institution.
What has been the general situation about this
I think recently we had some changes in the school where there is a new debt management policy coming from the university management through the quality assurance and planning unit, and that is calling on students to at least pay 70% of the total fees ahead of the first semester, and subsequently the remaining in the second semester, or phase deferral. And recently we received notices from the administration that students who are indebted to the school have been deferred. It was supposed to come earlier, but it was told to the student the deadline. We went into calling the management to consider the student in several ways. They gave an year and then extended it to what we have today. But yet still the students in their numbers, approximately 6,000 students, have not been able to pay the fees within this given period, which is so disheartening considering the current economic crisis and all we have in the country today. I think it's high time we look at ways to soften the burden of the ordinary student in KNUST today. So as it stands now, most of the students on that have been frustrated as to the way forward into our coming semester exams and then the academic year. Because if you have been deferred and you know explicitly you've been deferred, I doubt how you'll be able to stay focused and then get your academic work done and then possibly launch yourself into the academic excellence we came here to pursue.
Okay, so let's look at the interventions you have made so far. We understand you've made intervention with some of the students, you've taken details of the students. What is it all about?
Basically, as the 15th Speaker of Parliament for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Students' Parliament House, when the deferment issue came, even ahead of the deferment issue, we engaged students on how we'll be able, with my leadership, on how we'll be able to impact the very few we can from the coffers of the chamber. So there are some students that we looked up to helping them reach the 70% level, the threshold, the 70% threshold they are calling for. And also there are others that we helped them also solicit for support outside. But the fact of the matter is that how much can we offer, or how many can we put on the table? It will be quite negligible. So as student leaders, we applaud the SRC in one way or the other, also bringing interventions to help the student. We have the likes of Ketua Bianswa and the SRC financial aid that's been brought into place to help the ordinary student pay the fees. But the fact of the matter is that a cumulative effect of all those will not be able to solve the problem to any significant percentage. So as student leaders, we are looking for more holistic approach and looking at negotiable channels of how we can bring a long-lasting solution to this particular canker we have today.
So there are also concerns that some of the students actually took the fees from their parents and use it for several things, unnecessary things. Have you made that observation? Have you spoken to the students? I know some of them came to you. What have they been telling you? Have they genuinely told you what they use? Those that have taken money, have they genuinely told you what they use the money for?
It's obvious that there are some students that had problems of paying their fees, and some students used their fees, allegedly used their fees for gambling. That will not be able to erase that fact. But the fact of the matter is that today we know that some students have not been able to pay their fees as a result of using the monies into wrong ventures like gambling and also spending it on unnecessary things.
Use it for gambling?
It's like betting. I want to put it in the bigger scope. Anything that would look for like multiplying the money and then having a high end risk. Students go into this, the likes of sports betting and the rest, which the university really frowns to. But the fact of the matter is that must we generalize this qualitative judgment? This is a judgmental assertion that cannot be taken on a general notice. There are students that are genuinely poor. There are students that would have to go through climbing mountains and descending, traveling several kilometers by foot to carry produces home, to sell, to make ends meet, to survive in campus, and also make their commitment to the university any amount payable to the university. So we think, yes, there is a fact that there are some delinquent students. We can say these students are using their monies in this particular angle, but it doesn't call for generalization. The fact that we don't have a precise index to measure that height of genuity as to whether this student is genuinely poor or has invested the money in the wrong direction. So my recommendation as a Speaker of the House, I think when they were admitting the student, they made provisions for their parents or guardians details. So this is the time the university would have to rely on such information, get to the parents and verify whether they've been able to pay the fees. They can do it in an intelligent way. That would be a recommendation on the way of how the university will be able to get the genuinely poor student as against the delinquent student or the students that have exhibited that infidelity of spending their fees on ventures that will not bring development to the school.
So let's look at the issue of betting. How widespread is it on the university campus? Is it widespread?
Betting is something that is so viral on the university campus. But I can assure you that under the leadership of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Akosia Rita Dixon, the university management had been one that frowned to sports betting to the extent that they were putting measures to seize sports betting on all our free Wi-Fi connections. I can confidently say there are some betting platforms that you can get through with them with our internet connection. But do you have a way to stop them outside the Wi-Fi? Can they buy data bundle outside the Wi-Fi? So these are some social maladjusted conditions that has been induced into the student populace that we can hardly get rid of them within a short possible time. So such issues like this, except through therapy and then except through subsequent sensitization of the dangers they impose on today and tomorrow, that is the only way we'll be able to get rid of these particular issues. I think we'll be able to reduce it and not even get rid of the issue, I think.
Finally, what is your suggestion to the university?
My suggestion to the university is that as a student leader, I know in this particular condition, the university management is right, because the university as it is now spends several amounts of money in running the university. So the university equally needs money to run this particular institution. So I don't have any stance to blame the university on the policy. But the fact of the matter is that we are not in normal times. Post the ravages of COVID-19 and also the UTAG strike has imposed a lot on the student body. So we are calling on the university to consider an extension of the deadlines and possibly looking at reconsidering some provisions in the policy so that the ordinary student from the north, the ordinary student from the rural home, the ordinary student from likes of where I am coming from will be able to afford the university education and will be able to push our human capital index ahead. And my other recommendation my recommendations doesn't really end at the university level. I extend a plea to the government because we've been abreast with the fact that the Parliament of Ghana has passed the no guarantor loan for students of Ghana, the tertiary students. We are calling for the government, if possible, to fast-track that particular process, to intercede with the student, to intervene for the student to be able to pay their fees in time. This is the time we will need the government. We know very well, even at the national level, things are not going as expected, or we are not in normal times. But this is the time we are calling on government to operationalize the student loan trust fund and also make the secretariat in KNUST a very active one, and so that we can can just get, if it is Ghana card some students don't have, we'll fast track the process. There have been a lot of registration centers for the Ghana card registration. So we will just get the student to get the Ghana card and possibly move those indebted students to the Student Loan Trust Fund to be helped through the no guarantor loan. This will be a call in the right direction. And also corporate bodies such as GNPC and the likes who go into philanthropic support. We call on corporate bodies and individuals in one way or the other to support the dying student, to support the poor student, at least a 1 or 2, 3 payment of fees, or calling on us to give you some names to pay their fees. We'll be very grateful because we are not in normal times, and as Ghanaians we need each other at this particular time. Thank you very much.